Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Paranormal Happenings and Starseed's Envoys. I'm Kevin Kane of MyHauntedDolls.com, and with us as usual is Cherie Shun from Creepy Dolls and Paranormal Experience. And we both are haunted doll collectors and specialize in different parts of the paranormal. And we both have YouTube, and mine is myhauntedDolls.com on YouTube, which you will see the address at the bottom of the screen at this point. You can visit there to see any videos about My Haunted Dolls, or you can go to myhauntedDolls.com, the address below, and there you can find the books I've published, like the My Haunted Collection books that I seem to forget to mention the last two episodes we've done. So and there'll be some images here that you can see the books I've a few of those I've published. And now let's let Cherie introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Cherie Shun of Creepy Dolls and Paranormal Experience, Creepy Places, and the Paranormal, and our new Facebook group, Spiritual Awakening, Starseed / Envoys.
And we'll have that address down below on the screen if you haven't seen it already, so we can be sure to let you go check that out. And I apologize. I think I said Shun. It's Sean. Why do I, for years now?
Don't feel bad. Everybody does it to me. Everybody. I mean, they call me Scoon, Scones. It's just like, I'm looking at them like, really?
I know.
It's German, so it's everybody's, yeah. It's just like my name. Everybody mispronounces my name. They call me Sherry, Cherry, all this.
Yeah. The Cherie part. I don't know why I keep gravitating back to the Shun part. It's Sean.
Like I said, everybody does it, so it's my married name. So
yeah, it was shown 10 years ago. It's still shown today. Okay, now. All right, that brings us to some haunted dolls here, and I've got one I can introduce real quick. Oh, she is adorable. She is so adorable. This little girl's name, at least from what I've gathered from the spirit box, is named Sophie, and she is a reborn doll.
Oh, she is so cute.
She is, and those eyes.
Yeah.
When I see her sitting from an angle just like that, I see her when I come around the corner here. She looks just like a real child. These reborns are just amazing. Some of them.
Oh yeah, I love reborns. I have a lot of those.
And I see beautiful. The camera. Yeah. Oh yeah, you absolutely. Your dolls are gorgeous. And the camera doesn't do her. The camera doesn't do you
beautiful.
Oh, okay, good. Then maybe my end. I'm like, it doesn't do her color justice. She looks so. The skin tone doesn't look as good on the camera, but it's so real.
Right. It's probably the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's cute. I can see her face, her eyes, all of that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I guess this is another one of those. Some dolls I'll get, like I showed Bree last week, I'll get just out of interest because it's. And something like this that I don't have that comes I can find it at a good bargain.
Right.
I'm not going to pass it up, whether it's haunted or not.
Yeah.
But then I get her, and her hair is just so I can't get over. This has got to be real hair. Do they put real hair on reborns? I don't know.
Sometimes they do. It's usually like mohair. But it depends, So
definitely
dolls with real hair actually go all the way back to the 1800s. So.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, do they do these modern ones? But yeah, I guess some of them they still do.
They can.
But yeah, and she has that perfume. So a couple of these dolls have perfume smells that just come out of nowhere. This one, and then there's another doll I'll show another time. But this was a random doll I came across, a good deal. She was just too beautiful to leave her there. I said, I'm going to have to get her.
Oh, she's beautiful. I just love her face.
And so I brought her home, and I thought it'd be cute if it turns out she also has a little spirit or something, but I never expect it. Um, and then during a TikTok live, we did get her little voice come through. I was holding her like this in my lap, just like this, and had the little spirit box on. And I've got the Sono X12 that's still out there, but it's not on Google Play for some reason anymore. But if you can find it, it's great. It takes the static out of the spirit box,
Oh,
and their
okay.
voices are amazing on there. They'll start talking over each other a lot, but you can get their voices really good. And she came through saying how old did you say you were? Like 3? I think that's it she was. Oh no, that's Bree.
Four.
Sophie's 4. She's 4. Oh, you got
Four.
it.
I kept hearing four. Four, and you said three, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
kept
because I got Bree right here next to me. She butting in a little bit here. We're both
I can tell
sensitives to you viewers that are wondering what the heck are you talking about. We're both sensitives, and we get sometimes other
information.
spirits will chime in over the one you're trying to talk to. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that happens
4.
a lot. You'll get a lot of confusion because they're all talking
Yes.
or they're playing jokes on you, so they
Yeah.
interact. So you're getting all this
Yeah.
mixed up information. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah. But
Also, I noticed that dolls actually, when you bring home a beautiful doll that has no attachment, when you bring it into a home that actually has a lot of dolls that or furniture or whatever with attachments to it, you could bring in an empty vessel, and by the end of the week or by the end of the day, it could have something that actually attaches to it because it's a beautiful doll or or beautiful furniture or whatever, whatever they want to use as an
yeah,
anchor. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. So, and their little sweater's so cute.
yeah.
Even the clothing is just amazing. So
Oh,
I'm glad I
yeah.
did get her, and she is gorgeous. But
Hmm.
she has a little active. She's one of the mine that's very light activity, and you can kind of tell she's a little bitty girl because she doesn't want to. Kind of a shy girl because she doesn't do a whole lot, and that's fine. But she does a little spirit box talking. But the most awesome thing is when I put the cat ball down here. I have, for those of you watching may not know, a cat ball is this round plastic ball that can light up when it's touched, and they were made for cat toys for cats to slap them around and play ball with. They're just little balls, and see through, so you can see the lights in there that are red and blue and everything. But we found in the paranormal field, especially with child spirits, they love to play with those. And if you're sitting still and it's in a good solid place where the vibration won't hurt it, like carpet here on my floor, and I still get action on them, um, they start just going off and nothing you see is there. Usually it can indicate, especially if it answers questions for you, yes or no. It could be and probably is a spirit or whatever entity is there. And every time I put it between her feet and turn it on, it may take some time during the TikTok live, but you'll see it cut on. She starts playing with it. She loves that. So a very light activity with this other little legs. I didn't mean to
I know
flip
a little
the
foot came up.
camera. Her little legs. She's so cute. She's like a real look at she's it's so spooky and but wonderfully spooky how real she looks.
Is the skin like silicone, kind of like very soft,
It's
supple?
soft, but I think if it is, it's a very if there is such a thing as inexpensive silicone. Um, I think it is. A little, I don't know if it was a little more rubbery, so it might be a less expensive kind.
Mm.
Um, but absolutely, now up here, her face is so smooth. It may be her face is silicone, but the legs and arms they might have used a less expensive. I don't know, silicone really expensive. I can't remember.
It just
Um,
depends. It's not.
yeah.
It's not really too expensive. It just depends.
Okay.
But they can use it on their face, their arms, their
Yeah.
legs. Usually the
Yeah.
head.
Definitely
So
up here. Yeah, you can feel that that's not just your average plastic. But but yeah,
that's
it's just
usually what
she's
rib burns
so
are. Yeah.
yeah. She is so amazing though. It's now
Is she
her
weighted? Is
She
she
does
weighted?
feel
Weighted?
she has that heft.
Yeah, because
Not
usually the body is weighted with
yeah.
beads or sand or whatever.
Yes, and this one's a little more cushiony, so I think they yeah, there's some materials in there, but it does have the weight to it. It's not like
Yeah.
a. And again, it's
Slap.
probably why it was less expensive because it may be that they use less expensive materials in there too. But the detail is amazing.
That's beautiful.
I can't get over. So, and when you get these on, at stores like Amazon and Timu and stuff, a lot of times they're not exactly like your. I know like solid reborn silica, like the baby that I got from you was probably very expensive because that's like
Mm.
it looks like a real baby.
Yep.
But yeah, she definitely got that weight. I noticed that when I got her out of the box. It's just not quite as heavy, so I think they use some lighter. I don't want to say cheaper material in there with it. It's not just cotton in there or something like that, though. It's definitely some other materials in there. But I can't get over the hair, and the smell is just amazing.
I know some of
So,
those reborns, they have like a powdered smell to it. Like it's part of what's in the silicone. So it
and then
has like
that's got to be, yeah. And I think that definitely the whole head is, you can't squeeze it like a real doll. It's like a,
right.
and yes, and my other one that's supposed to be a reborn has that smell, but I don't know that she's actually a reborn. This other one was from Timu, so they probably just listed it as reborn, but I didn't get it for that. I got it because she was just so cute.
Right,
But this
right.
one, yeah, I'm glad I picked her up. And she has the look of those reborn dolls too in her face that I've seen.
Well, I've always told people, when you collect, it's not really how much something is.
Yeah,
Does it attract you? You
yes, for sure.
you collect which is appealing and what calls to you,
Yes,
not so much how much they are or anything like that, or it doesn't matter
yeah,
really what it is. It could be, you'd be surprised. I mean, some of the stuff that when I first started collecting, I didn't care about, as far as if it was cheaper or whatever, or expensive. Well, if
yeah,
it's expensive, it's hard to get, but it's a lot of it is what calls to you, basically. So it could
yeah.
be anything.
Wow. I have just coming across, excuse me, coming across individual people. Like I've got a doll back here from Germany from 1890s
Mm-hmm.
that a lady had. I can't remember, was she? It might have been her mom's, but she said it was 1890s, and it's definitely the doll. It's got the leather body, it's got the sawdust inside, but
Oh
it's not.
yes, it's a leather kid body. Yep. So is
And
it like an Armand Sally? Like one of the?
I don't know. I wish I could figure out how to find that out. I don't know if you can see her on camera very well here. She's right. Get my hand back there. Right there. This little one leaning against the corner.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It does. It looks like a German doll that has a leather kid body
Yeah.
where they
Yeah,
have
that one
the
there.
jointed. I have some of those too. They
Yeah.
can be from late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
So
She
I
was
got a huge collection of those.
yeah, she was saying she was pretty sure it was 1890s, and it's still even got the German uh, little seal on the front. It's not falling off or anything from where it was manufactured.
Are you
And
talking about the body or the head? Because the
the
maker's mark would be on the back of the head, on the
okay,
bisque.
yeah, actually, I think that is what it is on the back. I may be confusing her with one of the others as far as the sticker. Yeah, hers is on the back of the head.
Yeah. Well, it could have her
Because
body
yeah, I
because
was
her
just
body is
thinking it
different.
wouldn't have a sticker on the front because it's an old 1890s doll. It's on the.
Well,
uh,
sometimes they have it on the body, but the body would be different than
well,
the
maybe
than where the
then.
head was actually made.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it just
that's
all
on the back
depends.
of the head. I think it is on the back of the head.
Yeah, that
Um,
would be from the maker's mark of the bisque head.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that is maybe.
I know
I have
with
to
my
get out there
Bulger
and
to dolls, their
yeah.
bodies are different than their bisque head. So,
Okay.
like the person that made the bisque head will
Yeah.
actually get a body from another company.
Yeah, that's possible. Maybe it does. I have to look at her again. I've got so many. I may be misremembering the lady. Maybe it's a mark on her head. But it seemed like there was a faded, not a sticker, but like a faded thing on the front that hadn't worn off yet, and it said it had Germany on there.
Yeah,
And
so probably probably the body.
yeah, and but anyway, yes, the definitely all leather body with the sawdust inside. You could feel that in
Mhm.
there. I have another one. I don't think it's 1890s. It might be early 1900s, but she's got a tear in her, so I have to keep her in a bowl over there so the sawdust don't fall out. But this one, I couldn't get over how flawless it almost was, and that lady asked me for $35 for it.
Wow, that's
And
cheap.
I'm sitting here looking, going, and I said, it's got to be real. I mean, it is real. I've had somebody
Hmm.
else look at it too. Um, I mean, it's
You're
not like
probably
it's
going
one
to
of the
have to
big.
repair the other one that's leaking.
Yes, we need to. I
I
hated
actually
that.
just did a repair on one last week that I had gotten, and that her arms were falling off basically, and they were
Oh
leaking. But
gosh.
I knew it, and so I got her at
Yeah.
a reasonable price, cheaper.
Mhm.
So as soon as I got her, that's the first thing I did is I repaired both her arms. Took me a couple hours, but she's all good to go now, and she's all happy.
I was going to say, going back to little Sophie here, the reborn. She came. I noticed that a lot of these are coming with their own little toy. She's got a little rattler
Oh, how cute!
with
Yeah.
her, and I told her, Spirit Sophie, if you want to play with that, I'd love to hear you. But I haven't heard her rattle it yet. So I can't wait to get into some of these dolls with more interesting, histories.
Mhm. We still got to bring
um,
Remington on. He's a crazy one.
oh yeah, yeah, he's up top there where nobody will touch him. Way up there. I don't know if you can see him, kind of in the middle there.
Oh yes, I see him.
His little bald head sticking up.
Yep.
Did you have a doll you wanted to talk about?
I actually
Or
didn't bring one out today,
okay.
so it's been kind of a hectic day today.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
And
So I
you were
didn't.
talking. I didn't know if you wanted to start with the. We wanted to talk about. Oh my gosh, her name slipped my head already.
Oh, Dolores. Yeah,
Dolores. Yeah.
Herring. Herring. Dolores.
Harry. Dolores Cannon,
Yes.
which you mentioned, I believe, in the first episode, and we're going to throw her picture up this time so our audience can see it. But did you want to talk? You told me earlier about some interesting things happening to
Well, are you
you.
talking about Dolores Cannon or other? Well, let's talk about Dolores Cannon for a little bit. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking of the picture you sent me, but I may have
yeah,
said the
that was a
wrong
picture of
Dolores.
her. That was
Okay.
what I seen because in the dream I had this strange dream, and it was actually 3 days before the full moon. And it's funny because not all the time, but there are a few times that when a full moon comes, if I'm going to have one of those livid or not livid, I can't believe I said that, lucid dreams. It's usually like 2 or 3 days before a full moon, and it was 3 days before the full moon, and I had a dream that I was with well, I call him my Terran husband, Lance, that he dropped me off at this older house. In the house, and I before I went into the house, I looked up and it was a full moon. I walked into this older house and there was older people there, and they had like this get together or something, and they had some food and stuff like that. And I'm there and I'm not sure why I'm there. And then I walk in, and all of a sudden this lady, this younger lady, is in the hallway. So I walk walk down the hall. She's calling me to go, to follow her, so I'm following her, and I go into a room with her, and then we sit down, and we she starts talking to me. I don't remember the conversation a whole lot, but I do remember that she kept looking above me. She kept looking above me, and she had this, like she was having a conversation above me. Um, and this kind of went on, and her eyes. And I remember this lady was so beautiful. She had this long dark hair with probably down to about shoulder length, and it kind of kicked out. Beautiful white blue eyes, just beautiful. I was just thinking, wow. And I'm thinking, who is this lady? And we're sitting there, but she kept looking up, and she had this like she was having this conversation, and the expressions on her face were just blowing me away. And then she starts to talk to me, and we're talking a little bit, and then I ask her, I said, who are you? And she looks up again above my head, and so, like she's talking to somebody. She says, Dolores Cannon's niece. And I said, oh, okay. And we started to talk again, and then boom, I woke up. And when I woke up, I felt Dolores Cannon all over me. I felt her. It's funny because, because of my psychic ability, I've been able to see people that pass all my life. I still see family that visit me, that come and visit me in my dreams, and then sometimes in the daytime. So this kind of felt like that. It felt like it was a visitation. But I felt this all over me. And the first thing I thought was, it was so, like I said, it was a lucid dream. It felt like a reality. It didn't feel like a dream. I got up, and I was feeling her all over me. I was thinking, whoa, what is this? And so I got up and went downstairs real quick and got on the computer. And I started to look to see if I could find Dolores Cannon's family, because I wanted to find this niece. Why was this niece contacting me? And so I got on there, and I did find this lady, and I was blown away who it was. It was Dolores. It was Dolores Cannon herself, but she was in her 20s. That's what it looked like, this picture. And as soon as I seen that, I started like breathing really hard and panting like a dog. I was shaking and I was tripping out. I was thinking, oh my God. And I was just like, I was stunned. I just couldn't help it. Whenever something like that happens to me, I'm blown away, and I start to have a reaction. I start shaking. And it's funny because if you think about it, Dolores Cannon, she was a very, very special lady. She wrote many, many books. I have a lot of them. Also, on top of when I found that picture, one of the books that she wanted me to get was The Three Waves, which I did get, and I'm over half of the way through it. And and every time I read it, I feel her presence. So it's like she's guiding me or helping me to understand the book. So, but she also does, this lady also, besides being highly psychic, she also did a lot of past life regression. I can't remember what the name of it is. She has a term, but she did this, and that's what her books were about, taking people back into their past lives to heal them, and to see who they were. And a lot of these people were from all over. I mean, just all over, not just in this world, but from the stars and from everywhere. So it's just very, very interesting lady. But this lady, when I realized that this was her, that I was talking to Dolores Cannon, it makes sense why she kept looking up. She was talking to my higher self, because she kept looking up, and I was thinking, what are you looking at? And she's talking to me, but she kept looking up, and she kept having this like wow look on her face. So I was just like, okay, it was just really weird. But the dream, because of that, it was funny because I just talked to a good friend of mine who loves Dolores Cannon, who's reading her books as well. And I said, "Oh yeah, I have that book, and I have that book, and I read that." And so we were talking about it. As soon as that happened, I called her and told her what had happened because I was tripping out. And then I also told another friend of mine. I think his name is Jeff Dumfrey. He was a spiritual teacher that I went to for a whole year, like in 2025. I went to several teachers, spiritual teachers in 2025 because I was trying to get more. Not that I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to remember because a lot of us here were mind wiped when we come to Earth. So it's not about trying to learn, it's trying to remember what we forgot. So let's take a, but anyway, so I talked to him because I was totally tripping. And he was like, breathe, breathe. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to breathe right out of my chair. But anyway, it was just very, very interesting. That was a very cool experience that I had, besides all the thousands of other experiences that I've had. But yeah, so I when I seen the picture, I did um, uh, copy it and print it out because um, I didn't want to forget. I have a little file that I try to, anything that's like experiences or things that I, you know, experience, I try to copy it and put it into like a little folder. So anyway, that picture, yeah, that totally blew me away. I did not expect that. I did not expect to find anything really when I went on the internet to see if I could find this lady. So to find her and then to know it wasn't her niece, I think that my higher self must have told her to tell me that because my higher self knew that I would go, and because I'm a researcher, I'll go research, and then also knew how I would react because obviously when I reacted, when I knew it was her, I was like panting like a dog. So I would get like, oh my god, So yeah, it's just the initial shock of it, So
Yes.
anyway, it was very cool. And anytime I do pick up the book, I'm like reading 1,000 books all at once, which is not the best to finish a book. So it's just I have so many books that I want to get into, so I read a little bit here and I read a little bit there and I read a little bit there, so it takes me forever. So but yeah, so I do feel a presence when I do read it. So it was just that was a very unique. I expect that. And then, like I said before, she was also the person that when I seen my higher self, when I was in astral, she was another person. Dolores Cannon was another person that had also seen the same thing. I talked to many people all over the place, and nobody could get on the internet. I did research trying to find someone else who's seen what I'd seen. Nobody, until I think it was Dolores Cannon's daughter. And I think I told you about that. I think we talked about this in our first episode, that I came across on Gaia TV. She was at a convention or something like that, and she was talking to people. And it was her daughter with the dry erase board saying, she drew a big oval circle and a little dot on the bottom. And she said, "You see this little dot?" And she said, "This is you. This big oval, oval circle is self." And when I seen that, I fell out of my chair. I was like, again, I was panting, I couldn't breathe. I was thinking, oh my God, this is, so nobody else. And that was a good way to describe it because that's what it felt like. When I see my higher self, when I astraled and I pushed out because I said, "What do you want me to see?" When I woke up in that astral. That's usually what I say because when when I wake up in an astral, I'll just say, "Okay, I'm not going to fight this. I'm just going to just push out and see what they want me to see." So I asked, "What do you want me to see?" And I pushed out, and I turned around, and that's when I seen this huge oval white electrical power or light. It was snapping and crackling. It was mind blowing. Be a few seconds and then I was back in my body and I was blown away. I thought I seen God, but nope, they said, "You seen your higher self." So I was kind of like when that experience happened to me, and that was probably in the middle of 2024, um, I went everywhere. I went to, um, I went, I did a lot of research trying to find anything on YouTube, anything anywhere about that experience to see if anybody had anything close to it. Nothing. I went to other psychics, see if anybody had ever heard of that, or nothing until I came across the video of Dolores Cannon's daughter explaining what her mother had seen. And so again, I was blown away. Those are things that were my experiences. And then I found validation from others that actually had the same experience. And with that experience, it seems like I haven't seen that many that had that. Um, but so there's just things that, whenever I have an experience, I write it down in my dream book, and then I do research to see if there's any others that have experienced anything. I mean, now I have all kinds of dreams. A lot of the envoys that I talk to, that we have similar dreams, like dreams from ETs and all that. I've been having a lot of that recently. So the last 4 days, or no, last 5 days, um, I'm waking up in this dream, and there's like an overlay. This is kind of weird. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's like an overlay, almost like I don't know, like a double exposure, like a picture on top of a picture. And the picture on top of my dream was my star husband, Sashian. And I'm not sure why. I've never seen that before. And then it would be over it, and then it would like he'd be pushed to the side like he was observing my dream with me in it. So
Oh
it was
wow.
really weird. I was just thinking, I'd wake up, I'm like, what was that? And I would feel him, and then in a couple other dreams, I felt him in the dream, but again, observing to the back, like kind of being a wallflower, which he's not a wallflower, but and then I felt like my star family on top of it. So I think the last two, I'm not only feeling just Sashion, but I'm also feeling my star family. And when I wake up, I have this huge feeling of them being around me. So it's just really, uh, I don't know. It's just really, um, I mean, I can see it because right now we're at the beginning of March. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of the planets are lining up like they never have in history ever. So I'm a lucid dreamer. I feel a lot of stuff day or night or sleeping. So I'm having just kind of like a lot of crazy going on. And a lot of times I'm not sure how to feel or what to say. I write it down in my book, in my dream book, but sometimes I'm on a roller coaster because I feel what's going on from either the world or could be a family member, and you feel like it's your feelings, but it's not. It's somebody else's, and so you get on this roller coaster, and you're either sad or feeling something, and you're trying to figure it out, like what the heck's going on with me. So um, I try to do a lot of meditation. Meditation really helps, but meditation also helps you to tap into your soul, your inner core, but it also opens up doorways to your family and to, higher states of consciousness, which we all are. So the more I do that, the more I just open that door. So I always have a lot of crazy.
Meditation is good. I know, even on the Christian side, of course we you don't really hear it called that, but very often. But prayer is a really a form. It's really a form of meditation. You're meditating with God and opening up to Him. At least I feel that way.
Hmm.
Uh, for me, I'll start with your basic, of dear Father, hallowed be thy name. Do that. Then all of a sudden, it
Hmm.
starts feeling like as it opens up, it feels more like a conversation. And it's almost
Hmm.
like I'm talking to a buddy. Like, oh God, I know you didn't make me that way, and I hope I get better at doing this and that. And just like a conversation.
Oh
It's
yeah.
usually at night for me when it's quiet, and although I need to stop doing it too close to bedtime, I start falling asleep.
That's when the best conversation starts
Yeah,
for me. Talk about
but I
lucid dreaming here.
yeah, and that was the thing I was going to talk about. As you were talking about your dream, I have it, and it's still clear in my head. Not many dreams have stayed with me. There's some I can still remember. There's even some I remember from back when I was younger. Like I had a dream about being in a store behind a counter one time and talking to people through a glass, but they were in sort of a laboratory. And I just remember talking to them. But I'm at a register like I've got a store here, like Walmart or a grocery store, but behind there's a lab through a glass wall. And I woke up, I thought that's weird. I just thought it was a cockamamie dream. And then guess what? 2 years later, coming out of high school, I started working at Walmart, and I started as a cashier. And a year later, or maybe less than a year, you want to call it a little bit of a promotion. They promoted me up to a associate on the floor working in electronics. And I'm there in electronics. And one day I'm turning around and the photo lab's right behind the counter with the glass separation.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
turn around,
okay.
I'm
Yep.
talking to the ladies, and it was like this flash came, and I remembered that dream.
Yep.
And I said,
You.
"Holy!" Almost out loud, I said, "Holy shit!" The lady that standing there saw me. Look, she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "What? What?" She said, "You look kind of pale." And I said, "I just nothing. I didn't want to tell it because I thought she might think I'm crazy. So I just said nothing, nothing. I just thought I just remember something I almost forgot, but it's nothing important." But in my mind, I'm thinking, "This is the dang dream.
Yep.
This is where I was behind a counter with a store, and behind me there's a lab with a glass, and this is her."
You've seen it
And it
before.
and I've never forgotten that. So I
Yeah.
cannot doubt when people talk about dreams and seeing future. I can't, at least not completely doubt it. My cat's about to join me here. She's climbing up on
Aw.
me, so she might pop up here. But if you
Okay.
see her tail, there she
Oh yeah,
is.
I see her.
But the other dream, so stuff like that, I've had a few. The other dream that really stands out, but this one wasn't like a future; it was like a past, like someone else's past. I don't know if it's one of these guys, these spirits, and these $300 or $400 I have here now are items. There's paintings and stuff I have that are haunted. But I was living in my first house I bought, which was my last house I lived in, a little garden home before I bought this bigger house for my elderly father to move in with me. And he's about to go to bed in a little bit, so you may see me wave that way when he goes by. But uh, at that house, I went to sleep one night, and this seems like even though it was a quick dream, it seems like the only dream I had. Yet I woke up several hours later. I don't remember any other dreams that night. But I'm suddenly in a car, and it was so real. Not a car, but a truck, an old pickup truck. And something in my head was telling me this was the 1940s. And I
Hmm.
wasn't me, I was somebody else. It was like I'm inside someone else's body watching what's going on, but yet I know what they're thinking.
Hmm.
And this guy, I don't know who he was, but I just remember thinking, need to get out of town while it's still dark. So he's driving his pickup, or me as him driving the pickup. It's one of them old timey pickups from back then. And ahead, I see this old fashioned street lamp like they would have had back then. Looks like an old little town, looked like something you'd find in the Midwest or maybe even here in the South. And up ahead, I'm coming kind of up a hill to where these old clothes stores are. They're not old there though; these were like modern looking, but to me, I know they're old. And I see a street lamp, and there's this man standing there in like your what you'd find in an old '40s movie, a dark overcoat and a fedora, and he's looking my way, but his face is all in shadow, even though the light is above him. And as I get closer, I'm this man, whoever I am, is thinking, is that one of them? One of them. I don't know what that means. And
Mm.
says, "Oh, it is," and he speeds up, and I am driving by this guy, the guy whips out a old handgun and aims it toward the driver's side. As I go by, he fires a shot, but as fast as I'm going, instead of coming to the side window, and he has to shoot through the back at an angle. And I literally feel the bullet hit my head. I literally feel it go, but I don't see gore or anything. I just feel it like there's a bullet coming in my head. And
Right.
my last thought, this is so creepy. That last thought in my head was, so this is what it feels like. As I slumped forward on the steering wheel, and as I think back on that, it was like he was thinking, so this is what death feels like, or what it feels
Now,
like to die.
right.
So whoever, and I woke up right then. As soon as he gets hit in that thought and slumped forward, I woke up in my bed and I'm like, what the hell did I just
Now,
dream?
did you astral after that when you got like gonna die?
No, it was like as soon as that hit and
No,
that thought came and slumped forward, boom, I woke
you
up in
woke
my
up.
bed. There was no,
See,
you
I've
know,
had right. I've had dreams like that. I've had lots of dreams where I've died, and the first thing that
oh,
happens after that happens, I astral. I astral right out of the body, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it happens to me every
yeah,
time. But I guess for people that haven't experienced the out of body, I guess you wake up. Some people say that when you die in your dreams, you really die and you won't wake. I'm like, no.
wow,
If that were true, I would have been
yeah,
dead a long time. So I've died a
yeah,
lot of times in my dreams. So I just float up and realize, okay, so then I'm in astral at that point, and then I, either wake up into my body or whatever. So I go into another astral dream or whatever.
yeah.
But um,
I did have a
yeah,
funny dream where something happened. I remember somebody did something where I fell. I just remember falling to the floor, knowing I'm dying, and then I sit up thinking I'm a ghost, but I'm not. I'm still solid. I'm like, didn't you just kill me? So I've had that funny kind of dream. That might have just been a funny dream since nothing actually happened.
that's
But
funny.
that thing with the bullet, I could feel it go in like a thud, but
Yep.
there was no pain, probably because it was a dream, and I didn't see any spray like you would get for a bullet going through your head.
Right. Right.
But I just
Like
remember the
like
dark
dramatic
came on.
TV.
Yeah, the dark came on. It was almost a freeze frame where that thought said, "So this is what it's like," and then slumped forward on the steering wheel, and then I woke up. I'll never forget it. Every little detail. It just happened, and you know, it felt like it was
I
less
feel.
than a minute. Yet I had slept for several hours. I don't remember any other dreams, unless maybe I just forgot them. Maybe that one stuck. But I
Mm,
know I woke up after getting shot. I've never had another dream like that
yeah, I've
since. And I
been
don't know if it was one of these guys might have been trying to show me how they died, or one person
a past
suggested you could,
life.
yeah, past life,
Mm,
somebody else's energy that
yeah. No,
came to
I've
me when I was
actually
born.
been shot, stabbed, fell off a cliff, just all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so
Dang,
I've died
you're
in all kinds of ways, and
you're
I've actually had flashes of past lives where I
oh,
actually died in the 1600s as a Wiccan tied to a chair, dunked in, I guess, a well until I drowned. So, which is not very pleasant.
yeah,
That was in the witch trials.
oh
So,
yeah,
um, I was a Wiccan back then, and I was like a midwife. Nothing bad at all, but that's um, yeah. I've had a lot of past life stuff, remembrance. Um, Not too much that I talk about. I astral that actually confirms some of that.
oh
So,
yeah.
uh, but I think uh, a couple of days ago. Well, actually, no, it was yesterday. I remember I was telling you before we started this video where I came out of the grocery store because I was not to change the subjects quickly, but I came out of the grocery
That's
store
good.
and and I was walking in the parking lot, and I looked down at my purse for whatever reason, and just for a second, but in that flash of a second, I seen a car come out and hit me. And all of a sudden, I looked up, and all of a sudden, it happened. I was shocked. So I literally seen this before, like seconds before it happened. And a black car had actually come out, and I couldn't believe that this was happening because I just seen it, and I even heard, car coming out, hit,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened. I was just blown away. I mean, I screamed. I let out a scream when he hit my buggy, and I didn't know if I was gonna just if it was gonna keep coming. He stopped. So whatever happened, he stopped, and he came forward, and he pushed forward, and then he got out of the car and he said, "Oh my God!" He goes, "I don't have one of those little cars where you could see, when you're backing up. I can't." And he felt really, really bad, and I felt bad, and yeah, I probably would have felt bad for myself if I was flattened out, but but it didn't happen, and it was like what shocked me about the whole thing is that I seen it before it actually happened, seconds, and then it happened. And I think that I was more in shock about that than actually getting hit. And the guy was flipped out. He was like, "Oh my God!" He was really tall guy, like I don't know, 6'3" or something like that. And he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God." And he goes, "Let me help you with your groceries." So he helped me too. I said, "No, it's okay. I'm okay." And he's like, "No, no, no, no." So he helped me to my car, and he helped me get the groceries and everything. And then he took the shopping cart and So I thanked him and everything. I just, I was stunned because there was a flash. It was, I guess, a warning, a flash that was going to happen, but it was seconds before it did. It's like I seen it, and that's why when it happened, I couldn't believe it. I was so, I don't know, dumbfounded and shocked that you know the replay of that, and then all of a sudden it happened. So, and then of course my star husband was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, it's like, "I'm fine. I'm just in shock that I seen it before it happened." So that was just a weird thing. I guess I don't know. I guess it's a psychic ability thing. I don't know. It was just really weird. But anyway,
Oh wow! And I just remembered. I guess my dad went on to bed. I was looking to make sure I waved if he went by, but um, that reminded me another two other dreams I had in the last year. When my when my mom passed away, I can't believe it's going to be 10 years this this June. She
mhm.
died in 2016, and two times since then, or well, this year, this past year, last year, and again, I think a month ago, I had a dream where she showed up. And I've dreamed about her before, and it was just random dreams, memories. I'm having dreams where my parents look like they did when they were younger, and I was younger, and it's probably just memories coming back in dreams and just normal. But these two dreams, it was like she was not long before, like 2 or 3 years before she passed. And both times, I guess, as the dreams come to an end, I don't usually do this in my dreams, but there was a point where where I realized this is just a dream. A lot of my dreams feel real until I wake up. But it was one of those rare cases where in the middle of everything, I go, "This is just a dream. I'm dreaming right now." And both times I turned to her and she's looking at me. And it was like if I said like we were in a play and we suddenly went out of character and we're real now. And I look at her, she looks at me, and I go, um, I just start bawling. I say, I miss you so much. And I think it's her because she's like, "I miss you too, baby. I know, baby." She takes me and hugs me. And as she's hugging, I'm gonna get emotional.
Oh,
As she's hugging me, and I can feel her. And it's always while
mhm.
we're hugging. Thankfully, not before, but while we're hugging, I wake up and I go, I think that was really her coming to just paying me a visit in my dream to
She was visiting you in your dreams, and that's how it feels because you could. It's when you have a dream, it feels like a dream. When you when you're in the dream and you wake up and you kind of feel them all over, it's kind of like this.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to explain it, but it is like this. It's like that reality when you wake up, it's still around you, and you feel, you smell, you sense them, everything. They are in your field,
Yeah.
and I've had that with a lot of my family, my grandmother, my uncles, my cousins, you know, just anybody that has passed. I've even been, oh my God, that's another thing. There's actually, they call it a transition room. And in my astral, I've actually seen this transition room. This transition room is people that pass and they go into this area. It could be like a house, it could be like a little town, it could be this little area. And people that have passed, their body, and they stay there for like, I don't know, anywhere between 1 to 2 days before they pass on to go to wherever. And I've been in this transition place several times. And I'm not the one that's passed, but supposedly in one of my Akashic records, I work with people in transition. So I guess maybe that's why I could see people that pass, and whether it's before, after, or during, so when you, and they visit me, still to this day. So you do feel that essence of them, like in your dream, and then you wake up, you still feel them. They're still there. They're still in your field.
Yeah.
So it's not a dream. That's reality. So they are visiting. People think, well, it's just a dream. They didn't really have. Oh,
No,
yes, it did.
yeah. I know she was.
Yes, it did. It did happen.
She
You know.
came through
My,
on those
oh
two.
yeah.
Yeah, she came through, and it was like I said, described as like being where you're in a play, and all of a sudden you drop out a character, start talking normal. It was like we're acting out this. We were somewhere like my grandparents' house or somewhere, and then it just dawned on me, this is a dream. This isn't even real. And I turn around and look at her. It was like, I guess the thought in my head came like, here's your opportunity to get to say something to your
Yeah.
mom again. It's never my grandparents. I don't know why I don't get to do that with my grandparents. Just her. Like maybe because it's her wanting to visit.
Right.
She is my mother.
Right. Right. Right.
Mom
Yeah.
comes first. I can just hear saying, "Mom comes first."
Well, I mean, there's a lot of
So
people, that we know that are very close, and you could feel them time, or
yeah,
just in time. You'll just all of a sudden get this feeling like, oh my
uh-huh.
God, I feel like my mother or my brother or some family member or even a friend. You just
Yeah,
feel them, and it's really intense, and that's because they are in your field. They're just in a different dimension, so they still are alive. They just don't have the body that they like on Earth, but they're in another dimension. So again, that's the soul. We are. People totally get confused that this body, just because you don't have the body, you're gone. That you're done. No, you're not. you know, it's that's what reincarnation is, and it's not just on Earth. It's in the stars. There's so much that I think today that as we go into the golden age, we're going to learn all the truth about all this because we we've been lied to about everything, about who we are as a soul, and all these different life experiences. Our soul goes into many lives to have that experience, and that's how we evolve. So, and the supernatural is a huge part of it, but we've been lied to that it's not. So, there's just so much to say about all that. That it just it's really sad that you know the best part of us, which is the soul, has been kept from us. The truth about it. They've basically trapped us in our body and said there's nothing else. Don't look. So, but no, there's a lot. There's absolutely, I just can't wait for the truth to come out. It's just going to really set everybody free. People don't. I feel that freedom is way more than what they know it is. I mean, freedom is knowing who you are, the power that you are, and standing in it, and that we are beings of love, and that we are all connected, and we are all one. So to sit there and to say that, we're not, and we're only this body, and that we're all separate, and this all fight and da 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 da, just all this bullcrap. It's like, no, that's not true. So anyway, I just can't wait till that comes out. And there's a lot of stuff that's rolling out as we speak right now, and it's going to be getting momentum and snowballing and then exploding all over our planet. So I can't wait, because that's what we really need. People really need the truth. They don't need, you can't make a good decision on lies, it's kind of like building your house on sand. You need a strong foundation, not something that's going to sink. So, you need to know the truth in order to be able to do what you need to do, to know who you are, and to be who you're going to become, and to stand in your own power. And it's so easy to take your freedom when you don't know who you are or anything, and we've actually given it away and we didn't know it. So, but anyway.
We're coming up on the hour now. It's like a perfect way to wind down our episode. So,
yes.
And want to say again, we can, we'll be putting our links in the description below for everything. From my website, myhauntedolls.com. And I could put my YouTube channel link. I haven't done that in the last 2 episodes. And then we'll put my cat just shot by. I don't know if you saw that. That was my cat, not a ghost. She shot in front of the camera. I don't know if you could see that. She might have been below the camera line.
I didn't see it. I mean, she must have been pretty damn fast.
I think she might have just barely got under. The cats are flexible. Boy, they can flatten down and zip. I mean, so it's almost like she knew, let me stay out of camera. But yeah, the links to, and the Facebook, is it a Facebook page that you have for the Starseeds Envoys?
Yes. It's Spiritual Awakening.
Yes.
Starseed / Envoys on Facebook.
I'm gonna start writing these things down, put it right here so I can.
Well, sometimes I do, because I got so much stuff, and I'm sitting here like reading.
Yeah.
That way I don't forget and look like a deer in the headlights. So.
Well, this has been an awesome episode and some good information. And be sure for more to check out our Facebook links and everything, and websites. And buy my books. I could use more money. But,
there's some good books. I have some of them. They're great.
Thank you. So until the next time, everybody, stay safe and happy hauntings. And what's something we can say for Starseeds /Envoys? Like, I say happy hauntings. And is there something we could say?
See you upstairs.
See you upstairs. I like it. See you happy hauntings, and see you upstairs. So until the next time, everybody, good evening.